Good evening, guys. Welcome to Roaring Cycles listing. So this is a new chapter that we are now introducing to you. So what is Roaring Cycles listings all about? To tell you very briefly what it is all about, it is about putting up your business into our listings and get more and more customers and more visibility to your business, and also you can share your specialty of how you do your business or what is it that you can do for the bikers. It's all about providing facilities to the bikers of bikers community on the whole as such. So today we are going to have a very special person who is not only who is a rider, but he also owns his own business of adventure gears and riding gears. So let's not waste too much time and let me introduce you to our guest, whose name is Ricardo Fernandez. He is from Wildfire Biking. So let me just add him onto this chat. Hold on a minute. Hi, Rick.
Hi, can you just see me clearly?
Yeah, I can see you, but your head is getting cut off. So can you just adjust your camera a
Just
little
1 minute.
up?
Just 1 minute. Better?
Better, but a little more. You're getting cut from your.
Uh,
Yeah,
this is
that's
better,
better.
I think, right? Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
cool. I
yes.
can see myself too.
So, hi Rick, how have you been? Lockdown and all that.
Oh,
How's it
getting
going?
along, yeah. Life is difficult at the moment. Helping my wife a lot more.
Your wife must be happy. I
I,
think all the
I'm actually
husbands
helping
are
with cooking and
helping
sweeping
their
and
wives.
swabbing and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
so it's
getting a
good,
hang
yeah.
of it, huh?
No choice.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
But it's
So
tough.
who
It's
gave you
difficult.
that haircut?
Oh, this I did myself.
Oh wow, that's
With a little
nice.
help from the wife, yeah, but I did it myself. I got fed up with the hair growing and too hot, so I just chopped it all off.
Yeah, I think most of them will have become a barber by now. Barber लोगों की तो छुट्टी होने वाली है.
And they're still locked down, so you can't go to a barber still. So, क्या करूँ?
Yeah, I know. But
हाँ,
that looks nice on you though.
yeah, have to keep changing with the times. So, this is
So
how have you
Rick,
been?
yeah, I have been conducting these interviews on Roaring Cycles
Yeah.
Spotlight, and now today we are starting with this Roaring Cycles listing, where you
First and
will be
foremost, let
our
me.
first.
Hmm. हाँ,
Sorry,
continue.
you will be our first person on the listing,
Hmm.
listing your business with us, and I hope it gives you and us loads of opportunity to interact with our biker community and grow our business in our own respective ways. So
Thank you.
uh,
Thank you for having me on.
all the best to you. And Rick, quickly, so that people know you better, can you give
Hmm.
us a quick introduction of yourself?
Well, my name is Ricardo. I've been riding for, I first started riding around 25 years ago.
Wow.
But I was doing long rides maybe about 12, 13, 14 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And we've opened Wildfire in 2017. So it's all little
Okay.
over 3 years that we started.
Mm-hmm.
We've been growing steadily.
Okay.
There's a lot that we see happening over the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as the economy is back on track, hopefully we should be able to get our acts together, start riding again. So that's where
Yeah.
we are. That's who I am.
Okay. Yeah, riding, I think everyone wants is just like, अभी सिग्नल चालू हुआ कि हम सब रेस करके भाग जाएंगे. Just
Yeah, but I
waiting to
think
get
we
out.
need to be a little cautious because first of all, most hotels are not going to open up very soon. So
Right.
we need to be a little bit cautious in how we start because it could be difficult in the initial stages.
True, true. It could be really difficult because we will have to at least carry our own food stuff in the beginning. तो
Correct.
सुबह
Something
4
like
बजे
that
उठ
would
के
have to
नहीं
be
भाग
thought.
सकते.
Yeah, correct. We'll have to get up in the morning or don't go to sleep.
Absolutely. So, Rick, tell me. I mean, you said you started your riding since last 25 years,
Yeah.
and for long tours you have been doing like for 13, 14 years now.
Yeah.
So, can you just take us through your riding journey?
Well, I started riding on a bike that was lying around in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I must have been about 19, and I pestered my father that please let me take it out, repair it, and then start riding. So I pushed it off to the mechanic, got it repaired, and I
Okay.
learned to ride on my own in the
Oh,
compound
nice.
itself. So that's how we started. The first round I took, I actually crashed into a tree because I couldn't make the turn. And then I had this guy telling me use the clutch while you're turning. So I learned something that day, tried it out. After 10 minutes, got it right. A week later, I was on the road. A month later, I
Mm-hmm.
was at the RTO to get my license.
Wow. Awesome.
And I just started riding. I bought my first bike in 2004.
Okay. Which bike
Uh,
was that?
that was a TVS Victor.
Okay.
And I did my first ride, I think, in 2006 or maybe 2005, but 2006, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We on the TVS Victor.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a 100 cc bike, and we were about four of us. We did Raigad.
Okay. That
So
Riders
yeah,
a lovely place. Yeah.
yeah. So we did Raigad. We went up to the fort. We went, of course, via Murud Janjira and stuff. So we stopped
Mm-hmm.
over at Murud Janjira and then took the back road into Raigad. So that was our first step, and then slowly progressed into doing slightly longer rides. Uh, and then, of course, the longer tours until the last one, which I did last year, which was Uttarakhand. We did around 14 days in
Awesome.
Uttarakhand. So that's where we've been.
Yeah. So I mean, Uttarakhand. Yes, it's damn beautiful. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which places did you visit in Uttarakhand? How many days did you spend around?
So Uttarakhand, we did roughly around 2 weeks. It was 12 days of riding plus getting to Delhi and back. Okay.
Mm.
So we did from Delhi to Lansdowne into Chopta,
Okay.
Chopta to Munsiari via Ranikhet back to Delhi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then you
So
had shipped your bike up there?
yeah, we shipped the bikes to Delhi. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the boys who was with us was on a time constraint, so he needed to be in Bombay on certain dates. So
Mm-hmm.
we would have liked to have done more, but unfortunately not possible. So, but Munsiari is beautiful. Munsiari is beautiful. Chopta, if you're doing it in maybe at a different time, we did it in August,
Okay.
and it was
That
extremely
in rains.
cloudy and yeah, a lot of rain. Too much of so you really can't see too much. And Chopta is basically a trekking town, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a base for a lot of trekking. This thing. So if you're into trekking, Chopta is a must-visit place in Uttarakhand.
Okay.
Okay. But if you're just going on a biking, a better time is possibly April, May, or even March,
Mm-hmm.
because then Chopta is extremely scenic.
Right.
So,
What about the food habits out there? I mean, was it easy to get food or I am a
oh
foodie,
yeah,
so I always
absolutely.
keep asking about food.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not going to get non-veg. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at least in most places, you're not going to get non-veg
Okay.
in Uttarakhand. But to get food is not an issue. You'll get your aloo parathas are very very common there. So
Nice.
most things in Uttarakhand contain aloo. I don't know why, but there's a lot of aloo that they eat there. But yeah, food is nice. I mean, I'm not fussy about food. As long as the only thing I care about is filling my stomach. So as long as it does that, I'm cool.
That's great. That's really great.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Uttarakhand. People seem to be very nice over there. I've not been to Chopta or to Munchiari, although it's there on my to-do list.
Uh,
What places or things that really attracted you over there? Like, why did you plan Uttarakhand in the very
so
first
why did
place?
I plan Uttarakhand? My wife and I did the Valley of Flowers trek in 2015,
Okay.
and I fell in love with the place.
Oh wow.
So I was like, I need to come back here again,
Mm-hmm.
and see more of Uttarakhand because the last time we just did Valley of Flowers and returned. We just did a 7 day trip. It was up to Valley of Flowers and came back.
Okay.
So this time I wanted to see more. I wanted to explore more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, I would still go back again to Uttarakhand. There's a lot more that I want to do. I would like to see the western side of Uttarakhand, do things like Gangotri and stuff like that. So I will go back.
Cool, cool. So,
Yeah,
yeah, Uttarakhand is, I mean, it has two parts, like the Garhwal and the,
yeah.
I forgot the, yeah, I forgot the lower area that they call it.
Uh,
I just can't remember the word. So yeah, it will come to my mind. I'll put it up. But yeah, so the upper part is where the Gangotri and all that, the Char Dham
yeah, yeah.
things
Actually,
are there.
it's
And
more east-west rather than north-south of Uttarakhand. If you look at it, the
yeah,
divide of Garhwal, the western part is your
yeah,
Garhwal.
Kumaon. So
Yeah.
Mehul just said it's Kumaon. Yes, correct.
Huh.
That's Kumaon. So
Hmm.
yeah, the Garhwal and the Kumaon are two different sections.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Uttarakhand is actually um, divided
So
into these
your
two
food
parts.
habits also change slightly when you move from one area to the other.
Right.
There's also
Yeah.
a lot of there's a little bit of friendly rivalry between the people of the two regions, and they're very proud of their cultures and their heritages. So in the Kumaon part, you're more likely to get non-veg. So you know your Ranikets and your Munchiaris and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that, you will get a little bit of non-veg. You'll also get if you're somebody who wants to have a drink at the end of your day, yeah, that's more easily available in the Kumaon
Mhm.
areas than in Gurwar. But overall, Uttarakhand is a beautiful place.
Nice, nice. Any other place like
So
yeah, Uttarakhand is
the
obviously there.
ride that I've done, just the recent rides that I've done is Rajasthan.
Okay, where in
Yeah,
Rajasthan?
so Rajasthan, we did Mount Abu,
Mm-hmm.
Udaipur into. We stopped over at a friend's place in Bijapur, which is about 150 odd kilometers from Udaipur, in Siroi district. And then Jodhpur, Bikaner, that area.
Okay.
So yeah, so we
How
wanted
was
to get
Bikaner?
into. Bikaner is actually the best place to be in Rajasthan, if you ask me. Very few tourists. So
Okay.
you can walk into the forts, you can walk around, and you're not hassled, you're not pushed around by the crowds. Udaipur,
Mhm.
Jodhpur, very, very crowded with tourism. Bikaner has
Correct.
the
Yeah.
same things, but it's much more peaceful, much more chilled out. So you can go to the fort and you can actually spend 5, 6 hours in the fort and admire
Uh,
yeah. So there's nobody to push you and okay, move along, move along, move along. None of that stuff. So to me, I enjoyed Bikaner the best because of that. You just take your own time to do what you want over there.
yeah, I think that's typically what
Yeah,
most of the explorers would like to do. Or
yeah,
when we travel, we just don't want too much of crowd happening
yeah.
there, so that we
Hmm.
can enjoy the scene, take photographs,
Yeah.
live our memories, and all that.
So for
So
me, that was beautiful. The other place that I was telling about is Bijapur. Bijapur is a very small village,
okay.
uh, which is in the Siroi district, and we went there, of course, because I have a friend of mine staying there,
Mm-hmm.
and we went off. We stayed at his place for a couple of nights, and that is beautiful. So Bijapur is the Javai district, and you have the Javai Lake and the Javai Dam and stuff like that. And that entire area is a catchment area for leopards. So if you want to do leopard spotting,
Ooh,
you get plenty of leopards. This one
awesome.
trip that we went out, he took us into a jungle reserve, and we got to see about, I think, a herd of, I think, 5 or 6 leopards, and pretty close.
That's a
I
lot.
mean, yeah. So
So yeah,
it's a good place to be.
next time I want to go, I'm going to take the address of your friend and go there and tell him to take
Sure,
me
sure,
all
sure,
the way.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And then of
Cool.
course Mount Abu. Mount Abu is one of my favorite places in the world. So
Yeah, I've been to Mount Abu. That's another favorite place of mine.
yeah.
Um, so Rick, you said like you've been riding for 14 years, or rather long tours for the past 14 years, and then 25 years into biking. What actually got you into starting your own business on riding gears and adventure stuff?
Uh, what got me into this? So I was actually into the service industry. I was in insurance for about 16 odd years.
Mm-hmm.
And there came a time when I just got fed up of it. I was like, enough is enough. I don't want to work for anybody else. I don't want to continue doing
Okay.
insurance for a while. And I kind of brainstormed on this for maybe about a year and a half on what I could possibly do if I were to leave my job. And I finally came upon that this is something that I'm passionate about. I like doing this. So this is how I felt that this is the best thing that I could do with being something that's passionate, as well as
Mm-hmm.
something that I can continue to do for a while. So that's where I decided to get into this.
Okay, you must have faced challenges. I mean, typically people moving out of job and then getting into business. These are two separate fields completely. Doing your own business, the risks involved, the kind of clientele that you need to get on, and all that. So, how did it go with you?
Uh, well, challenges are there. Uh, there's a lot of competition.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there were market forces that were pulling us under because of the demonetization and then the GST thing. So everything went all over the place with that. And now, of course, you've
Right.
got coronavirus, which has taken everybody by storm. So the challenges are there. But I see that uh, the biking space is huge. Right, so
Mm.
if you look at the categories of motorcycles to start with, you've got the super bikes and you've got the mid-range vehicles and then you've got your commuter bikes. And within those categories itself, you've got people who are hardcore tourers who will only do long rides. And you've got the guys who will do maybe one long ride a year or maybe a couple of long rides a year. And then
Right.
you've got the absolute only weekend rides, your Sunday morning breakfast
Correct.
riders. So across all these categories of motorcycles, you've got 3, 4 categories of bikers. So the
Mm.
space is huge.
Right.
So the faster we can get back, I think, from the effects of the COVID, I think there is a lot of scope for us to move forward.
Cool. So, Rick, 3 years into this business, I do think it must have grown to a kind of stability at your end. So, what are typically the brands that you are associated with, or what is it that you offer in your shop? First of
So
all, before that,
hmm.
where is your shop?
We are based on, I mean, I'm sure you have viewers who are outside of Bombay. So we are basically in Bombay, in Goregaon on the Link Road. We're very close to Vibgyor School. So anybody who is saying knows where
On the
Vibgyor
link
School
road
is
itself.
on the Link Road. We're just right next to Vibgyor School. So it's easy to find. We're there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just type wildfire.
Yeah, if you just type wildfire on Google, you'll get the location, and we've set that up pretty smoothly, so you will find the location.
Cool. So what are the merchandise that you offer in your store?
So what we've done is that we've started out only with riding gear. So we do jackets, pants, gloves, boots, helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and basically your luggage and stuff like that. Then
Okay.
we slowly moved into your auxiliary lights, and now we want to get into your crash cards and your backrests and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. So, and of course, hard luggage. That's the next step that we are looking to get into. So, hard luggage, we are providing it right now, but we don't stock it with us. So, we basically do it on
Right.
order.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So that's what we haven't touched the accessories part of it. So we don't at the moment have anything to do with, say you want to buy an aftermarket handlebar or an aftermarket exhaust. That area we have not yet got into at the moment.
so
That is something
Yogesh
that
wants to know if you have battery jumpers with you.
battery jumpers, no. Jumper cables, right? I'm presuming that's what you saw, cables.
Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have battery jumpers, you
No,
said.
no, no.
Okay. So Rick, like what is it that you would advise people to own in the gear section?
So the first thing you need is a helmet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the most important thing. I mean, today we're crying, like, where's the mask? Where's the mask? No, you need the helmet before you need the mask. Okay, so that's the first thing you need. Then, of course, you require your jacket and your boots. I would even prioritize boots before you buy a pair of pants.
Good.
So, yeah, so these
Yeah,
are
boots are very important.
the four things that you absolutely need. So that is very important because your ankle bone is the most brittle bone on your body. So any small fall, the first thing that's going to go is your ankle. And if you
Correct.
don't have the right
Absolutely.
pair of shoes, you're going to have serious problems. So
Yeah,
boots
because the first thing
is a
that we do
priority,
is
and
put
it's the
our neck
most
down.
neglected part in biking gear in India. It's the
Correct.
last priority. People want to wear trekking boots to ride motorcycles, and it just doesn't add up.
I agree to that completely. People just wear slippers or ketos or
Yeah.
just
It
about
absolutely doesn't
anything.
add up because the first bone that will break on your body is your ankle.
Yeah, I've even seen people riding bare feet, uh, and that's so dangerous.
That's some daredevil. I mean, it's not.
I agree. So, Rick, what I wanted to ask you was, yeah, so uh, with all this COVID thing and all coming up
Hmm.
and all that,
Hmm.
um, how do you see your business coming up post this?
It's difficult to say actually because these are unprecedented times. Right? We don't know what's going to happen. We are not quite sure how the government's going to open up the industries as we go along. To me, it will depend on how many people have lost their jobs, how many people have taken pay cuts, how many
Mm,
people have other financial priorities which are more important than going on a bike ride. Or, you know? The lesser people you have who fall into these categories, the faster we get back onto our feet. The more people who are in these categories, the longer it will take for us. Because we are technically a tertiary business, right? First you buy the
right,
motorcycle, then you develop a desire to go on long rides, and then you buy gear.
correct,
Right? So we are right down on the food chain. Unless you have the money to buy the motorcycle and the desire to go on a bike ride, you're not going to buy the gear. Or you may have the money to buy the motorcycle, but you may, and even the desire to go on the ride, but you may not have the money to do it, so you're not going to buy the gear. So it's as simple as that.
right.
We have to be a little cautious as to how it's going to pan out for us. Uh, Things are going to change. Interactions or relationships with our vendors are going to change. How we deal with them, what kind of agreements that we have with them. All of these things, I believe it will change. Business will change completely.
Yeah, so tough times ahead for all of us. I think whether we
Absolutely.
are
And also, if you
business
look at
owners.
it, rides are going to kind of dry up a little bit. To
Hmm.
me,
Right,
Ladakh this season is almost washed out.
correct,
Okay, and now with the China situation, it is almost absolutely washed out. Even if the economy opens up, the issues that we have on the border means that you're not going to be able to reach Pangong and stuff like that. So
correct.
this year Ladakh is going to almost totally be washed out. So that's an entire season for us gone.
Right. So Abhishek wants to know what is it that brings people to your store?
The thing that brings people to my store, the one thing that I get from most people who walk into my store is that they've read my reviews on Google and walked in.
Yeah, but
So,
then people would. I mean, there must be a lot of recommendations for you, or how do you?
see,
I mean, something that must be
one source obviously is recommendation. So those are guys who are associated with your biking groups or somehow know a customer who's visited you previously. So that's one category of customers you will get. The other category of customers is an absolute first time rider who doesn't know anything. He just Googles, searches uh, reviews, and then decides to walk in based on the reviews he's read. And I do get a lot of customers coming in because they've read the reviews on Google. So that is something that I'm very proud of. That I've got very high ratings on Google, and
good.
I hope that I can keep it that way. That is my aim. That is the goal. We keep it
Amrit says
extremely,
you
extremely
offer
high.
free coffee. That's why he comes to your shop.
Amrut comes only for coffee, so it's
So yeah, the others like Mohit, Kalpana, Chakram, all these people say that you're very good at giving good advices. It's not like you just give them the stuff and okay, take it and go. You give them
See,
good advices on choosing the accessories and gears.
to me, yes. Being somebody who rides myself, right? If I'm going to give you the wrong advice just because I want to sell a product, I'm not doing any justice to you or to me.
Absolutely
Okay, I need you to be able to be convinced that what I'm selling you is right for you.
correct.
Okay, if you're not convinced of that, there's no point. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, it's your life that is at risk on the road. Right?
Right.
You've got a family, you've got a wife, you've got kids back home. Right?
True.
Every time you go out, somebody is praying that you come back safely, right? And we are providing you the equipment and the gear that helps you do that.
Right.
So if the advice is not right, it's useless.
I absolutely agree. And yeah, I've been to your shop, and I think the first day that we met, you were trying. I mean, you were speaking to one of your customers and giving proper advice on what they need to buy. And the first thing that you asked is like, where do you want to go? What is the purpose of you wanting to buy this gears, and how long you're going to use it, and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
Yeah,
really
so
nice. I mean,
exactly that's important, right? If somebody is going to do only weekend rides, Sunday morning breakfast rides, and if you're trying to sell them a touring jacket, it just doesn't add up. Yes, I make more money.
right.
Without a doubt, I'm going to make a bunch more money selling you a touring jacket, but it's of no use to you. You're going to be hot in that, you're going to be sweaty, you're going to be uncomfortable, and only to go to Lonavala and come back. Sorry, it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
And at the same time, if you've got the money, you're doing a lot of tours, and you're spending only 3,000, 4,000 rupees on a jacket, don't buy it. Just go without it.
Correct. Siddharth wants to know, like, are the prices going to increase on these gears post lockdown? Any idea? I don't think,
Uh,
but
we haven't got any information yet, but there's a
mhm.
possibility because a lot of these gears are being imported. What the government does with import duties has to be seen. It may not go up immediately, but in a few months, there's a possibility, depending on how the government reviews the import duty situation and stuff like that. So that, yeah, there is a possibility. There's also a possibility. I mean, if you look at the Royal Enfield, they've taken up the
Mhm.
cost on a lot of their bikes
Mhm.
to kind of negate the loss that they've had of 3 months of no sale. So you might have that in other areas of business as well. Companies just bumping up the price by 5% here and there just to
Hmm.
negate the. So yeah, that could
Lots.
happen, but as of now, no.
Okay, cool. You also, I know you do organize some rides.
Hmm.
Like, do you do it for only your friends, or do you have a group, or how do you do it?
No, see, within my friend circle, we're a very small bunch of guys who ride together, and we do it occasionally. So that's generally the long rides that I'm doing. I'm doing currently right now with only my friends. But for customers, I do organize rides for customers, or I do put it out on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So anybody who's interested can obviously join in, even if you're not a customer. And as
Okay.
of now, we basically just are doing breakfast rides, and a couple of weekend rides is what we've done. But we want to build on that and obviously increase the frequency of our rides. And we're looking at more remote locations. We are looking at the possibility now with the lockdown situation of finding mechanisms where camping can become more important.
Right.
And hardcore camping would be more fun than setup camping. Because
Absolutely.
to
I
me,
agree with that.
there's a big difference between camping and spending a night in a tent. There's a big difference between that. So uh, probably less of spending a night in the tent and more of camping. Yeah, that would be a nice area to get into.
Great, great. So, for guys who asked whether Ricardo organizes any tours or things, this is your answer. You can always
Yeah, follow
look
us on
up his
Instagram.
post.
Yeah,
Yeah,
follow us
follow
on
him on
Instagram. That's
Instagram and look up his post for any rides and join him. And if you want to meet him personally, you can go to his store, which is in Goregaon and all that. So,
yeah.
Ricardo,
You can
since
take a
everyone
lead
is
from
saying,
Amrut. They can take a lead from Amrut. Come over for coffee.
yeah, Kalpana is saying she'll definitely come down for a coffee. She missed it.
Sure, sure,
So,
sure.
and next time I'm
Absolutely.
there, I need a coffee. So,
Absolutely. Everybody is welcome to have coffee and talk about a ride. Yeah, that's the best. That's how we all learn. I learn tremendous
absolutely
amounts from customers.
correct. Correct. It's a connect that happens, right?
Yeah,
Coffee with Rick. So next chapter will be coffee with Rick.
yeah. Of course, it won't be as good as coffee with Karan, but yeah, you can join in.
So, someone asked, what do you think with this anti-China sentiment that's going on right now?
Hmm, hmm.
How is it going to affect your business?
If you're somebody who believes in the anti-China sentiment, stop using a mobile phone. Every single
That's there,
mobile
but
phone
I
is
think
made in
that's
China. So yeah, it can't work. To me, the world has already moved too far in a certain direction where countries are interdependent on each other to keep their economies going. One way or another, it may realign slightly, but it won't. You cannot absolutely boycott a certain country.
right. There are certain things that we
Yeah,
cannot
there will be
really
realignments, I'm sure,
ignore.
but you cannot
Hmm.
absolutely boycott any country. I mean, not even
Yeah,
forget about
even if
China.
we do, it's going to take a hell lot of time to become
Yeah,
self-sustainable and pull out, get the things that we want, and then the cost and the quality and everything also matters a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
And there has already been a lot of realignment. No, a lot of people have moved their manufacturing out of China, but have shifted it to Vietnam and South Korea and Malaysia and Thailand. So that realignment is already in the process. So
Mhm.
while you cannot totally eliminate any country, you are anyway in a world that's interdependent. So
correct,
that will continue.
right. So, Amrut, when is he going to open his shop? We all know that it's all lockdown times. So,
Yeah. So we're waiting for some clarity on what the government wants to do. They've said that tomorrow, the 5th, is a day that shops can open, but they've not. And they've said ki there'll be this odd even kind of scheme where half the road is open on odd days and half the road is open on even days.
hmm,
But they've not given us clarity on which days belong to whom.
correct.
So till that is there, but yeah, you can, if you want something, give us a buzz. We can try and reach out to you. We are doing a little bit of courier dispatches. They're taking a little while to reach the customer, but yeah, uh, we are doing it. So there's something
Amrit,
that is
a lot
absolutely
of
urgent.
questions for you. Amrit says, when are you opening your dojo?
What is that? I don't even know what
I
that is.
don't, yeah. So, okay, Amrit, he doesn't know what is a dojo. So, you need to explain. So, yeah, so Rick, since everyone is saying that you give very good advice on which gears to choose, how to go about it, and all that, I think we should start something like Rick says or Rick recommends on these gears, or Rick recommends these things. How about it? How do you think
We can
that's
definitely
going?
look at doing things together. Definitely, it'll be fun. There's a lot, you get a whole host of things that can be looked at. Different types of mobile holders, for example. Uh, you know, different types of gears, different type of armors that go into the gears. How do you know what is the armor that you have in your gear? Is it a level 1? Is it a level 2? How do you understand that? What is the meaning of T minus T plus? Yeah. Those are things that, yes, we can have small snippets and shoot it out to customers.
Cool.
So these are
So,
things that a lot of customers are not quite aware of what it is. They know it's important because people are talking about it, YouTube, bloggers, everybody's talking, but I don't think there's enough of clarity on what these things represent.
okay, cool. So I think that then answers Amrit's question of when you're opening your own dojo, that is like a institution or a classroom. So we will have Rick recommends
Okay,
very soon.
okay,
You can
okay. Yeah.
learn uh, what type of
But
accessories you need to
Amrut, you
choose.
don't
What
get
is it?
coffee on that, and you've got to pay for whatever information Amrut gets.
Yeah, you won't get
It's,
coffee.
it's only
So
Amrut. The rest of
you'll
them you
have
can
to
get
get
it for
your own
free.
coffee, sit in the classroom, and listen
Yeah,
to Rick's recommendations
yeah,
on roaring cycles. So it's going to be our Rick recommends on roaring cycles.
yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be fun. I think Rick doing
Yeah,
that.
we can
Uh,
definitely look at working out something on that. Yeah.
Cool, cool. So that was a wonderful session with you, Rick. I hope everyone on the all of our audiences enjoyed this, and I clearly see that they love you a lot, and they have very good regards for you and your business as well. And they keep saying that they will come down for coffee. But
Sure.
yeah, definitely.
Coffee is anytime. Coffee tea is all Indians drink coffee tea. So anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mohit recommends that you start a YouTube channel and make merchandise reviews, videos, and all that. So for Mohit, we are going to do a similar thing with Rick very soon. Rick is going to send in his recommendations or share his knowledge on gears, and yeah, he's going to teach you all how to choose your gears wisely and what is it that you need to um, choose with all the budget and availability and all that. Amrit, yeah, Amrit wants to know. Amrit, you joined a little late, so Rick actually cut his hair by himself with a bit of help from his wife. So Amrit,
Amrut is
Amrit
always late.
really
It's
goes off
fine.
the road.
It's cool. He's always late. It's cool.
So yeah, Rick already, although he looks a little serious, he's never a serious guy. He makes fun a lot, and he loves to go around exploring things. I think that's how he can connect to bikers in the best way, and also having a business of his own where he can meet bikers and introduce them to how to choose gears or what is the importance of gears, why they need to have something that he's selling and all that. It's not about his sales, but it's more about creating that awareness around for people to know why they should use something when they are on a bike. That is really nice of you, Rick. And I think more and more people will come to Wildfire to uh, choose and buy their gears with you. Wonderful, wonderful, Rick. I
Thank you.
really hope COVID kills itself.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. And we look to meet each other soon once this COVID virus disappears. All the best,
Absolutely.
good health to you and your family, and to every
Same to
other
you.
viewer who is online at the moment, and those who are going to watch it later. Good health to all of you.
Yes. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining this session and making it as lively as possible. Like Rick said, still stay at home, don't get out as soon as the partial opening is there. Be safe, let the corona kill itself, and then we will get out in full swing and enjoy our rides as much as possible. So yeah, people are waiting to see you, Rick, after the 8th, and
Yeah, we're all waiting to meet each other, I think.
yeah, we all are waiting. So let's have some party once the COVID
Sure. Yeah,
really
yeah,
gets out.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much. Stay safe and regards to your family as well. And
Yep, you
take care.
too. All the best, all the best. Yep.
Thank you.